Attacks of the last year brought renewed focus on what causes radicalisation and how it can be stopped. Often it's young people who are vulnerable to extremist messages. We've been in Bradford, where mums are being trained to spot the signs of both far-right and Islamist radicalisation in their children. BBC Asian Network's Shabnam Mahmood has been given exclusive access and has this report.
The terror attacks of 2017, in which 36 people were killed, brought renewed focus on the causes of radicalisation. The Manchester Arena, London Bridge and Westminster Bridge attacks were all carried out by those with extreme Islamist views. And there were at least 12 far-right terror attacks last year, the most high-profile on Muslims in Finsbury Park, which killed one and injured dozens. One of the key elements of the government's fight against terror is the PREVENT programme. It's designed to support people at risk of joining extremist groups and carrying out terrorist activities. It uses early intervention through community and religious groups to safeguard vulnerable individuals, some of whom get referred by teachers, health workers, community leaders and even parents. But it's not without controversy, with some claiming it unfairly targets Muslims. The government funds hundreds of de-radicalisation programmes across the country. This one is taking place at a community centre here in the heart of Bradford, and it's targeting mothers.
Talk about it as a family, look at what's acceptable, what's not acceptable.
This might look like any mother and toddler group, but these mums are here being trained to recognise signs of extremism.
So as much as all this information, you've got to remember the internet is not designed for kids. All right? It's designed for adults.
The women are from a variety of backgrounds and religions, including Muslim, Hindu and Christian.
It was really important for me to come to this course because I wanted more of an insight into this grooming and extremist groups and radicalisation of children. I wanted to know more about signs and things that I can look into that can help me to understand how they're working and how they're reeling children in.
बच्चे जब देखते हैं उन्हें नहीं पता होता कि वो क्या देख रहे हैं, क्या सही है, क्या गलत है, तो अगर हम लोग खुद नहीं जानते होंगे तो हम उन्हें कैसे बताएंगे कि ये गलत है या सही है.
And is that a real concern in the community here in Bradford, you know, about radicalisation, about extremism?
I think it is. I think it is because it's out there a lot more now, isn't it? You hear on all sorts of children that are going missing, getting involved in these kind of groups.
You have different type of groups that the parents are aware of, you know. You have kids that playing games and talking to people that we don't even know who they're talking to. And,
you know, when the kids play the games, and is there a fear then that perhaps they could be radicalised or drawn into extremism of some kind? Is that the kind of...
To be honest, at first, I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think they could do that over games.
Did you think that?
But now that it's out there more and you hear about it a lot more, now you're sort of aware of it. You can, even through this course, it's helped us how we can keep tabs on that, and it is happening.
This PREVENT-funded scheme, Mothers Against Radicalisation, is a voluntary one for mums who want to keep their children safe, not because they're at a particular risk from any kind of extremism, nor have they been referred to PREVENT. It's run locally by Sophia Mahmood.
In Bradford, what we're looking at, which we have been looking at for many years, is early intervention. So the programme is set up over a series of 6 weeks, and it's a series of workshops that we deliver around radicalisation, ideology, safeguarding, having difficult conversations for mothers within the communities to raise awareness on signs and symptoms of radicalisation, to have a better understanding of what extremism is, to have an understanding of how to work with services to ensure that your children are safe.
Say if your child, God forbid, that he, you know, you spotted some signs of radicalisation, would you report him to the police?
Yeah. No, I would, just to safeguard my child, for the sake of my own child, to make sure that I can get him the help or her the help that they need. Yeah. I would.
I really don't know. You see, that's quite a difficult question for me because being a mum as well, it's like, am I doing the right thing? Am I going to hurt my child?
I don't think I would.
I don't know because I'm not. I really don't know because you would. Because you've got.
Because I think, for me personally, I think It's so that I can protect my child.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
For it to go any further, or for it to affect my other children or other children that are, you know, part of my children's group, to protect them and myself as a family, you know, I would.
I probably would, but I'd get guidance from family members, maybe ask somebody first rather than straight away go to the police, because that is my child, and if my child's going to get into trouble by the police, then that'd be a worry for me.
Yeah, but can you imagine an overprotective grandma saying, no, don't go to the police?
Yeah, they'll definitely say no, you know that for doubt.
Can you imagine that? But then you've got to understand
they'll carry on doing it, the kids will carry on. Well, there's a point there, because once you tell the police, they'll stop.
So for me, it was just about a refresh about the uniform, and let that not be a barrier to us helping you. Yeah?
The scheme works with the local council and the police, delivering sessions on internet safety, extremism and building relationships.
It was really nice that we developed a bond, so that if I had a question about Islam, rather than having that fear...
You can openly speak, that's really
rather
good.
than having the fear of, oh, you
because
can't
a lot of
ask a
people,
Muslim
they are afraid to see, you know, they're going to see a Muslim person walking down the street with a abaya on, with a hijab on. They're actually scared to approach them or say hello to them. But actually, if you come on and say hello, I want to know anything, we'll openly tell you whatever you want to know about us.
In the past, the government's Prevent programme has been criticised for targeting specifically those from the Muslim communities.
There was a stigma attached to Prevent, that it was Muslim communities, and we need to change that taboo. We need to make sure that this is going out to all communities. This is not a religious problem, this is not a faith problem, this is not an ethnicity problem. This is a problem because someone has an ideology and a vision which then becomes a violent act.
New figures show the number of individuals referred to Prevent for having extreme views was 7,318 this year. That's a jump on the year before, when there were 6,093 referrals. And significantly, while the numbers referred for having extreme Islamist views has fallen by 14% to 3,197, those being referred for having far-right views has jumped by 35%, with 1,312 referrals in 2018. West Yorkshire Police say the Bradford course is important for local women.
I think what it is, it's the lack of education and about how to do and how to report. So my role is all about empowering women and going out and educating them. But on the main, I think the community in Bradford, you know, they're fairly well equipped and know when to call us.
Despite their different backgrounds, they all have one goal in common. They're working together to protect their families and communities from extremism.
The big thing was that we're all mums, and we all want to do what's best for them.
The same thing for our children. You know, it doesn't matter if you're Muslim or not, or it doesn't matter what caste you're from. We want the same thing. We want our kids to be safe. And it depends how us parents take it. You see, if I'm ignorant, my child will be ignorant as well.
Shabnam Mahmood from the BBC Asian Network.